Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm coming at you with a little bit of a different view because I wanted to kind of, show a little bit of a holiday. It's not all the way Christmas time, but I did want to show you a little bit of holiday. I've spent a little bit of time in the last month kind of testing out different recipes and things that I could use as substitutes because this is my first keto Thanksgiving. And this is my first holiday season being on keto. And while I feel like I've done very well. If you're new to my channel, I've lost 112 pounds. I have been on it since, end of January, and I've been fairly strict to lazy if you're looking at the ingredients and the type of foods that I eat. So I kind of wanted to see what I could do to have Thanksgiving the way I wanted to have Thanksgiving. So I came up with a few Thanksgiving hacks. And really you can use this for any holiday or any kind of savory, warm holiday. I'm going to leave my hacks for 4th of July for later, but one of the things that I noticed is that green bean casserole, if you go and you buy the already French cut green beans, or if you do it with the regular green beans, whatever you do with a green bean casserole. And if you buy the home, pre-made, cream of mushroom or cream of chicken, depending on what your recipe is. And again, sorry, I'm sick. I may cough through this. It's actually decently high in carbs, but you can use heavy cream and chopped up mushrooms and salt and pepper and butter and make your own semi-cream of mushroom sauce. So that would negate a good portion of the carbs. You're only going to get the carbs that are allotted in whatever type of mushroom that you're using, and even that is going to be spread very thin throughout the casserole. And the other thing is, a traditional green bean casserole is topped with fried onions, right? So it's onions dredged in some sort of flour mixture and then just deep fried. I suggest trying just taking the onions and slicing them really, really thin and mixing them with Parmesan cheese. So it'll kind of give it the idea of what a coating would be, but it also puts that nice salt in there and it gives you the sweetness, a little bit of the onions. So it's going to drastically reduce your total net carbs on a green bean casserole. So that's hack number 1. And I have tried it. It definitely tastes good. It's not going to be the same. Nothing is ever the same when you do these things, but it's pretty dang tasty. Another thing is, I know a lot of people tend to use cauliflower mash as the go-to mash to replace mashed potatoes, which I know I'm on keto, but they're so good. Gotta stay away. Gotta stay keto. But have you tried jicama mashed? It's just a little suggestion. If you are able to find jicama, cube it up, boil it till it's nice and fork tender, smash it up, put some butter, salt, and pepper, garlic powder, put that in there, fresh parsley, and fresh chives. I'm not saying it's a little bit more close to a mashed potato than a cauliflower, because it's still not going to be the same, but I feel like the consistency is just a little bit better and it's a little less wet. So jicama mashed, check it out. Low carb stuffing. This will be a little more on the lazy side. So if you have again, gotta be sick while I'm recording a video. If you are, or you have found a bread that you like that is low carb, I personally like this particular company called Sammy's Bakery. They are out of Tampa. They do ship. So they do ship. The shipping is a little expensive, but the cost of the item is not as bad. So if you've already gone out there and bought some of the replaceables that this is a loaf of bread for $11, getting this is nothing. So check out Sammy's Bakery. Get the low carb bagels, and this is how I made stuffing. I let them kind of defrost on my countertop for about 30 minutes. So they're still a little bit frozen. I cut them, I cubed them, I put them on sheet trays, and I put them on the broiler. I got them nice and crispy and toasted and like all set up and like kind of ready to go. And then I went and put them into a bowl. I added poultry seasoning, which you can get, like, there's a lot of different brands that kind of make poultry seasoning blend. So you can get whatever brand that you can find. Then I also added McCormick's chicken or Montreal chicken seasoning, some salt, some pepper, and some olive oil. And I tossed that all together with those really, really toasted croutons basically that I made. And then what I did to make it into stuffing was I took a cup of chicken broth and I mixed it with an entire stick of melted butter. Yes, an entire stick. It will be high in calories. So make sure you're kind of watching it. Even though it's low in carbs, it will be a little bit higher in calories because of the amount of butter that's in the total dish. So I mixed all of that together and then I baked it off at 350 for about 30 minutes. And the top came out nice and toasty and it smelled so good, and it was 100% good enough. Definitely a replacement, especially for your, stovetop stuff that most people use. It is a little bit more prep time. So let's talk a little bit about dessert. Dessert is always the hardest part, right? So you're looking for pumpkin pie. You're looking for my family, we have a recipe that's handed down called chocolate silk pie. And it's one for my grandmother who, for some crazy capability, was always very thin, but made a million pies, worked in a pizza restaurant that they owned. I don't know. They had great genes. That gene was up passed to me. So let's talk about dessert. There are many options that you guys can do, but I think that the best one is to look up, there's a few different, Low Carb Yum definitely has one, which is a pumpkin cheesecake. So look into doing something like that. Look into replacing a normal everyday type of dessert and replace a sweetener. I wouldn't say go and, do a pecan pie and replace the sweeteners because it's heavily sweetened. But you could do caramelized pecans in a low carb sweetener and top that on top of like a low carb cheesecake. So that's just some simple ideas, things that you could kind of do. But ultimately, the biggest thing is that you don't have to cheat on holidays. You can if you want to. I'm not here to judge. Some people do. But you have the opportunity to find things that may work instead. And not everything will be perfect. Not everything will be grand. And sorry. Even some of these particular recipes that I'm talking about, like switching things out, even those just as a serving is going to be like 6 carbs. So you kind of have to look at it in totality. So am I having like 6 carbs with mashed jicama and 6 carbs of, green bean casserole and 6 carbs of, the cheesecake substitute? Like it's not like that. So take the holidays with a grain of salt. Something else that I found and I saw earlier this week that I thought was really interesting was, it was actually kind of a post about waiting till January 1st to start losing weight. And what they did was they added up the total amount of meals that you would have from that date to January 1st. And then counted the total number of holidays between that day and January 1st. And said, why are you guys waiting to start your diet when you literally have 140, I think it was 147 meals on that particular post. 147 meals, and only 3 of them are something that would be a party or celebratory. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I definitely kind of agree with it. So if you're not on the diet, or if you're looking into doing the diet, 2 suggestions. Do your research, and then jump into it, and try your best. Because that's what I did. I did my research, and I jumped into it. And I know I say this every video, and every single other YouTube person ever says this every every single video. It'd be really nice if you liked my video. It'd be even better if you subscribe to my channel and turn the notification bells on, because I'm going to try my best to have new videos and new content out as much as possible. So much love from me to you. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving and a great time with your family and friends. And if not, I hope you find some really badass movie to watch and just, chill out. Bye, guys.